Imagine for a moment a world where every second of your day is dedicated to pleasure. A world where every craving is satisfied, every discomfort erased, every desire instantly met. A life filled with constant entertainment, distraction, and indulgence. It sounds like paradise, doesn't it? A dream world where happiness never ends and pain never begins. But pause for a second and ask yourself this question. What is the price of that paradise? What would it cost your mind, your freedom, your humanity? Could it be that in chasing happiness without limits, we don't find liberation, but enslavement? Today, I want to take you on a journey, one that will challenge how you see pleasure, happiness, and freedom itself. Together, we'll uncover how the endless pursuit of pleasure, as warned by Aldous Huxley in Brave New World, can quietly become a form of modern slavery. This is not just a philosophical idea, it is the story of our lives, of our time, our attention, our desires, all subtly being traded in the name of happiness. By the end of this journey, my hope is simple, that you will see your life differently, that you will recognize the hidden dangers of pleasure, and more importantly, rediscover what it truly means to be free. Almost a century ago, Aldous Huxley wrote Brave New World, a haunting vision of a society that had traded its freedom for comfort. In this world, people were not ruled by fear or violence, but by pleasure. Citizens were pacified by a drug called soma, a substance that made them perpetually content, no matter how empty their lives were. They didn't rebel because they had no reason to. Why question the system when you feel good all the time? Why search for truth when illusion feels better? Huxley's dystopia wasn't built on prisons or chains. It was built on pleasure. Intoxicating, numbing, all-consuming pleasure. He warned us that the most dangerous form of control is not the one that forces you into obedience, but the one that seduces you into loving your own captivity. Now look around, we no longer swallow soma, but haven't we created our own digital versions of it? Every ping of a notification, every scroll through social media, every binge of endless content, all designed to keep us comfortable, entertained, and compliant. Technology promised us freedom, but in many ways it has woven invisible chains. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, known for his work on flow, spoke about the deep engagement that brings genuine happiness. Yet today, instead of flow, many of us live in a cycle of distraction, chasing small bursts of dopamine, mistaking stimulation for satisfaction. We are being fed pleasures tailored to our every whim, but they leave us empty. We feel connected, yet alone, busy, yet unfulfilled. This is the paradox of modern life. We have never had so much comfort and yet so little peace. There's a term in psychology for this endless chase, the hedonic treadmill. It describes our tendency to quickly adapt to pleasure. No matter how much happiness we achieve, it fades. We return to the same baseline, yearning for the next fix. You buy a new car. For a moment, you feel alive. Then the feeling dulls, and you start wanting the next thing. You achieve a goal, celebrate, and soon find yourself craving a new one. In Huxley's words, we become prisoners to our own desires, running faster and faster, but going nowhere. And this isn't just theory. Studies have shown that the rise of convenience and instant gratification has paralleled a decline in mental well-being. A 2020 study in the Journal of Affective Disorders revealed a clear link between excessive screen time and higher rates of anxiety and depression. The more disconnected we feel, the more we turn to the very devices that amplify that disconnection. We seek escape, and in doing so, we dig ourselves deeper. So what is the real cost of this pleasure? The philosopher Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor who endured unthinkable suffering, offered a profound truth. Happiness cannot be pursued, it must ensue. He taught that meaning, not pleasure, is the key to fulfillment. That when life lacks purpose, we turn to distractions. And those distractions, though sweet, deepen our emptiness. Ask yourself this, are you truly living? Or are you just consuming experiences that numb the pain of not knowing why you exist? Now imagine a marketplace where the currency isn't money, but attention. Every click, every scroll, every second of focus you give, bought, sold, and monetized. Welcome to the attention economy, the most powerful system of control humanity has ever known. Neuroscientist Dr. Robert Sapolsky has shown that our brains are wired to seek rewards. Every time we experience pleasure, a like, a purchase, a compliment, dopamine floods our brain, reinforcing that behavior. But here's the dangerous twist. It's not the pleasure itself that hooks us, but the anticipation of it to make that. That's why we refresh our feeds compulsively, waiting for something new. The uncertainty, that small maybe, triggers more dopamine than the reward itself. It's the same mechanism that keeps gamblers at slot machines and shoppers chasing sales. Tristan Harris, a former Google design ethicist, revealed that social media platforms deliberately use intermittent variable rewards, a design trick borrowed from casinos, to keep us addicted. So yes, the system is rigged, but it's rigged not with chains or fear, but with pleasure. And in this modern brave new world, we're not forced to obey. We choose it, willingly, even eagerly. We surrender not because we must, but because it feels good. The French philosopher Alexis de Tocqueville once predicted that modern societies might fall into a soft tyranny, a control so gentle, so comforting, that people wouldn't even notice it. He imagined citizens who traded freedom for convenience, individuality for comfort, and autonomy for ease. And doesn't that sound eerily familiar? We live in a world that celebrates convenience above all else. Smart devices think for us. Algorithms decide what we see. Apps promise to save us effort, time, and thought. But the less we struggle, the less we grow. The easier life becomes, the more dependent we are on those who provide the ease. And dependence, no matter how pleasant, is still a form of bondage. What makes it dangerous is that it doesn't feel like slavery. It feels like progress. As Huxley wrote, the most efficient form of tyranny is the one where the slaves love their servitude. That's the world we risk creating, one where comfort dulls our courage, where pleasure replaces purpose, and where humanity trades its soul for convenience. So how do we escape this trap? We start by remembering that freedom is not the absence of restraint. It is the presence of purpose. Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." When your life is anchored in a deep why, in something meaningful, you become unshakable. You stop being pulled by every craving, every impulse, every digital distraction. Think about the great souls who changed history. Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Mother Teresa. None of them chased pleasure. They embraced discomfort in the service of something larger than themselves. Their joy was not shallow or fleeting. It was rooted in purpose, in creation, in compassion. Viktor Frankl identified 3 ways we can find meaning: through work, creating something valuable; through love, connecting deeply with others; and through suffering, transforming pain into growth. Each path demands more from us than pleasure ever will, but each one offers something pleasure never can: depth. Ask yourself, what legacy do you want to leave behind? What would you sacrifice comfort for? What gives your life direction beyond the next moment of satisfaction? These questions are the beginning of awakening. If pleasure enslaves, then discipline liberates. At first, that sounds paradoxical. Discipline feels like limitation, but in truth, it is the foundation of freedom. The author Jocko Willink said it best: discipline equals freedom. When you discipline your mind, your habits, and your attention, you regain control of your life. You stop being a puppet pulled by dopamine strings. You become the author of your own actions. Discipline isn't about self-denial. It's about self-mastery. Start small, turn off notifications. Set aside an hour each day for silence, reflection, or creation. Replace the quick hit of dopamine with the slow burn of purpose. Every time you resist the lure of mindless pleasure, you strengthen your will. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you reclaim your power. And every act of discipline, no matter how small, is a rebellion against a world that profits from your inattention. We've been taught to fear discomfort, to avoid pain, boredom, or effort. But discomfort is not the enemy. It is the birthplace of growth. When you push through resistance, when you face your fears, When you embrace challenge, that's when transformation happens. A seed must break before it grows. A muscle must tear before it strengthens. A mind must be stretched before it expands. So the next time life feels hard, don't run from it. Lean in. There is meaning hidden in the struggle. Comfort may soothe you for a moment, but only discomfort can make you whole. Let's return to where we began, the vision of a world built entirely around pleasure. At first, it seemed like heaven, but now we see it for what it truly is, a gilded cage. Freedom isn't found in endless indulgence. It's found in self-awareness, in the quiet courage to say no to what numbs you and yes to what awakens you. Every moment of awareness is a small act of rebellion against a culture of distraction. And when enough people wake up, when enough of us choose meaning over pleasure, the world changes. Because the systems that profit from our inattention lose their power the moment we stop feeding them. You are not a product. You are not a consumer. You are a creator, capable of depth, purpose, and greatness. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World was never meant to be just a story. It was a warning, a mirror held up to the future. He foresaw a world where pleasure would be weaponized, where people would trade their freedom for comfort and their humanity for convenience. And though his prophecy feels eerily close to reality, we are not doomed to live it. Because awareness is the beginning of freedom. Today you can make a choice to stop running on the hedonic treadmill, to step away from the noise, and to live with intention. Choose to seek depth over distraction, purpose over pleasure, meaning over numbness. And when you do, you will discover something extraordinary. That the greatest joy in life is not in constant pleasure, but in purposeful living. That the truest freedom is not doing whatever you want, but choosing what truly matters. So I leave you with this question, one that only you can answer. Are you living freely, or are you just comfortably enslaved? The chains may be invisible, but they are real, yet so is your power to break them. The path ahead may be steep, but it leads to greatness. Choose wisely and step boldly into the life you were meant to live.